This is a composer cut for the Touch of Angels soundscape. So Touch of Angels was created following my mother's passing. She lived with us for the last 3 years of her life and went through her ascension journey via dementia and Alzheimer's. We decided to create it for her memorial celebration that we had in our home, which was in Asheville at the time, North Carolina. My mother's journey from a spiritual perspective was an interesting way to exit, and it made sense in terms of how she was and how she lived her life, that she would move through her process in this way. So she was initially in the system. When I first brought her to where we lived, I had her in an assisted living type of environment. And as she continued to worsen, they didn't want to deal with her. They wanted to put her in a higher level care system. And without going into all the details of that, those of you who may be familiar with how our systems are run, it's not a fun way to see your parent go through the end of their life. So what we ended up doing was we actually got a house specifically to have various places where we could take care of her and we could still do our work as well. As Spirit always worked diligently to find us the ideal situation, we found a beautiful home just off the Blue Ridge Parkway, where the downstairs area was ideal for Gary and his studio and the individual Odyssey room. The middle area was the ideal area for us to take care of her. From her bedroom, she was not mobile at the time. We were able to use Hoyer lift and wheelchair to get her to and from the areas to eat and live. And so we really ended up with an ideal situation. And then upstairs from that was our bedroom, and then my office, which was beautiful. It looked out over the woods in the back. So we actually had a really ideal situation there to take care of her and to honor her life and all the love and caring that she had offered us through the years. We were able to give that back to her in her final days by living in this beautiful environment. When she initially came to us from being in that system for a while, those of you that are aware and conscious and know that when you go into those environments that there's a lot of darkness. There's a lot of psychic energy going on because there's a lot of death happening continually. There's a lot of death angels, as well as, let's say, the demons are the darker ones there as well, trying to find their way as they can into people's consciousness. So when we pulled her out of there, of course, she pulled some of that energy with us, with her. And when we got her settled into her room, it was a very strange experience because it was like they descended upon her, like they had free reign to be able to come into that space. And of course, they didn't know what they were dealing with when they did that. So we were able to quickly get them out of there. And it was the most tangible experience I've had of the dark side, trying to come into somebody's space. And so once we were able to clear that energy, we also played the healing soundscape for her 24/7 in that room to keep the vibration high. Everything we had in that room was of an energetic level that lifted the light. We filled the room with all kinds of pictures and sayings and quotes that she could look around at and, feel the love and feel the energy and support. So much different than what one experiences when they are left in a home like that, a nursing home environment with a lot of other dementia and Alzheimer's patients just sort of hanging out in a room together all day long. So giving her this beautiful end of life timeline was a gift to us, and the gift of the energy was really reciprocated on many levels. So she had a beautiful room with a view of the woods and a beautiful environment and people who cared for you. We had a person who was working with us with business as well as taking care of our mom at the time, helping me out, and she was a godsend as well. And we were just able to keep her in a beautiful, loving space. We got her off well over $1,000 a month of drugs and medications that the system had put her on. And we weaned her off through homeopathics. I work with a homeopathic physician for probably over 3 decades now. And he helped us wean her off those drugs. And she was not on any drugs for those remaining 3 years of her life. And she didn't need them. She was doing fine without them. So we cared for her in that environment. And so this is how the Touch of Angels came about, because our house her room was completely surrounded with angels. I mean, it was so palpable when you went in there, you could feel it. But of course, the whole house was supported by that energy as well. So when it came time to do the memorial after she did pass, which was in 2006, Gary said he wanted to do a tribute composition for her, and this is what came out, the Touch of Angels soundscape. I do believe we kept her living for quite some time, definitely much longer than she would have had she lived in the nursing home. She received so much love and caring in that environment that I believe it extended her life, and her life force was strong. So Gary created that piece within about a week. He brought that through. And it's really one of the first soundscapes I give to people in the beginning. First of all, it's short. And a lot of people don't know yet how to meditate for a full hour, staying focused for a full hour. So it's a really good piece to give people initially, and just tell them to play it once or put it on repeat, listen in the background, meditate to it, spend time with it, and just sort of fill yourself with the presence of the angelics. One of the things that's really important when you begin this type of work, and especially our work, because there's a lot of levels and layers to it, is to build your light. And that's the first step. There's a course in the DNA Avatar program about increasing your light quotient, and that's one of the first ones that I suggest people work with because of the importance of doing that. If you start taking on too much of this information and the dark energy starts to come forth, it's very difficult to know what to do with that. So the more you build your light up initially, and this can be, for beginners, this can take a couple years. So I don't encourage people to go too fast in the energy if they're not used to dealing with that sort of frequency coming into their space. So then when Gary's mom passed in 2011, we also used it again for her church service down here. We brought it into her Methodist environment, who definitely had resistances to us and our work. They didn't understand, of course, the whole New Age movement, and they were taught that that was a bad thing. And so we were not exactly totally welcomed in that environment, but we were her children. So we played this Touch of Angels soundscape, and I did a poem that accompanied it that I will try to attach to this video at the end, so you can listen to that as well. It came out really, really pretty, and everybody there was very happy with it, even though they just never quite understood who we were. So my suggestion with this soundscape, of course, is for beginners for sure, but anytime you're feeling that you need more light, that you need the angelic realms to come and support you, whether it's for personal healing, physical healing, or emotional healing, it's just a really good album to work with. And just put it on repeat and let yourself meditate to it for as long as you can. Namaste.
Thank you for your interest in our Touch of Angels soundscape. We hope you gained valuable insights and enjoyed the information presented. If you have any questions or would like further clarification on any of the content, please feel free to comment below. Our intention is to provide additional information and to foster a deeper understanding of the creation process of our soundscapes. Your comments will help us share additional information in future podcasts, as well as posting replies here. Touch of Angels is a 10-minute soundscape, which you can listen to, as well as we offer a 90-minute extended version for those seeking a more immersive experience or would like to go to sleep with. To stay updated on our work and access exclusive content, consider subscribing to our channel and liking this video, and share it with your friends. Join one of our membership tiers for an ad-free, talk-free, and extended versions of our content. Your support allows us to sustain our efforts and provide you with even more great content. We greatly appreciate your support on many levels.